My call sign is Sicily. I'm 26 years old and I come from Italy, from the southern part. Due to Italian laws, I don't want to say where I come from because it could be illegal and could create danger for my family. So I won't speak about that. But I spent my childhood in front of the sea, and in one part there was the sea, and the other part were the mountains. So it was a beautiful childhood. I was following the freedom of the children. It was beautiful, and my family always stayed next to me all the time. So it was a very natural and normal growth for every child. So it was a normal child, yes. I'm happy to say that. I'm lucky to. Before Ukraine, I was a sales management for a bank, and I was occupying myself in investing, and I was a general manager for a bank in Italy, and I was studying my second degree in economy.
Well, wonderful. And how long have you been interested in Ukraine?
The first interest came in 24 February 2022 when the war started, the real war started, and I decided myself to go here, but I had to wait for 1 year to start practicing again and to getting fit again because I was not ready. No one was, no one was imagining the Russian to come here.
And can you remember this moment when you made this decision to come to Ukraine to fight?
Yeah, it was one of the first days of March, and in television they were showing that Kiev was getting surrounded, and in the last minute of this journal, they showed the video of a mother who gave birth inside a bunker during a bombing, during a Russian bombing, and the strength that the mother showed us in front of the camera to give birth during an horrible situation like a raid alert or during a bombing gave me the strength to decide to finally come back here.
Yeah, and how did your parents, your family, and friends react to this decision?
During my first tour, because part of my family is pro-Russia, I decided to not tell anyone. I just told them I was moving to Belgium for a job that was bank related. And I told them, okay, I'm moving to Belgium. I told them 5, 6 months before to plan everything. And after I just said to them, okay, I am in Belgium, while instead I was in the International Legion getting my boot camp.
Okay. And your friends?
I really try to don't speak about my operation in Ukraine or about me being in Ukraine to anyone because a lot of Italians are actually pro-Russia and a lot of people don't understand what the foreigners are actually doing here. And I don't like being called an assassin or a mercenary. So I try to don't speak about what happened.
Okay, I see, I see. And what were your first impressions of Ukraine?
When I arrived, it was start of May of last year, May 2023, and I remember myself how happy I was when I crossed the border and I finally received the stamp on my passport. It was a unique emotion for me finally be able to help this country, and I was amazed by how beautiful Lviv was. But everything changed almost immediately because after 4 hours I arrived in Lviv. I lived my first bombing and my first raid alert, and I was not scared by that, but it gave me strength to continue and to enjoy the ranks of the 3C. So I cannot say there is a big cultural gap, especially here in the east, because by the weather, by the usuals, by the culture, it reminds me a lot of Sicily. Even this area, a lot of green, the weather reached 40 degrees while we are doing combat operation. It just missed the sea and a volcano, and you will become Nova Sicily. My first vivid impression was my first formation in the army. When we were a brigade only of foreigners, we were around 150 guys, and we were standing all information, waiting for the battalion commander. And it was amazing hearing all these different languages. You could hear French, you could hear Spanish or English, And all these people were just happy to be in the army, and it was one of the biggest formation I ever saw in this country. And it's a very good memory I have. Like how these people are all trying to sacrifice themselves to help a country they didn't come from it, or they have no clue by the area, but they are here to help. And that was the biggest impression I have of Ukraine.
Moment.
Yeah, because right now, me and the foreign team of drone operation are currently doing recon on the area, and our main job is to take care and to keep an eye on our troops and to keep an eye on the enemy, on the aggressor. And we usually see the aggressor with cold mortar or artillery, and they will deal with him. But our job mainly is recon to keep the troops safe. Drone operation is not my first specialization in this war. Second battalion is actually the third battalion I joined during this year and a half almost. My first specialization is in ground recon, and the second one is storm position. I was a stormtrooper before, but I really like all the specialization you can get, and if I can learn more, why not? There is always a space open to learn new stuff. It's amazing, number one, to see the democracy of the Ukrainian in the army. Some guys are very young, some guys are not so young, but they all share the same objective, that is getting rid of this war and getting rid of the aggressor. And it's amazing how a 20 years old can joke with a 50 years old without any problem while we're getting shelled. Like, it's beautiful to see how determined are the Ukrainians to continue this fight. And every single Ukrainian I ever worked with in these last 14 months show me they want to win the war. There is no way we are going to stop until all the Ukrainian grounds will be under Ukrainian flag again. And that's, I think, is the main threat of this army. Being able to joke and to laugh even in the worst moment of the war. I tried borscht, but everywhere, and I tried kasha, but I'm really enjoying these little desserts. Sirniki, maybe? I don't know the name. It's sirniki. It's very good. And you have some kind of truffles that you sell everywhere that have chocolate or some. It resembles a lot of the dessert of we have in Sicily. So yeah, I really like food, but I would like to know more. So one day, when the situation will be calmer, I will try to take 10, 15 days holidays and try to travel all around to try the food. Because as an Italian, I can value a country by the food. So I know all the greetings. Dobre rano, dobry den, dobre večer. I can count till 5. And after I know some not very friendly phrases to shout out to the Russian while we are in combat. But due to television or social media networks, I'm not going to reply them. Another stuff that is very funny, because sometimes we have internet, sometimes we have no internet. And when there is no internet, so no possibility of using Google Translate, we start mimicking the action, so with the hands. And being an Italian, I move my hands a lot, so it's very easy for me, but it's very funny, like trying to understand, not there, here, like, or another stuff I noticed by Ukrainian is they try to speak to you in Ukrainian, okay? And you don't understand the first time, you don't understand the second time, but they are very stubborn because they will continue to repeat the phrase until you learn Ukrainian. So sometimes it's 7th, 8th time, and you tell them, I don't understand your language, and try to mimic. It's very funny. I like these moments. Before going to mission, it usually depends by the squadron, because we usually go in 4, and there are 2 foreigners and 2 Ukrainians usually. And between us foreigners, we usually come and meet all together, or in this house or in another safe house, try to drink something together and to do like a pre-mission briefing. I think this is the most natural thing to do and the most normal thing to do. But as rituals, like I have one of my colleagues, it was before start flying, we started listening to ABBA inside the blindage. and just dance a little bit. We really like, listening some music, just relaxing before I let loose. We usually stay around 28-30 hours. As I said, we have 4 people, 2 foreigners, 2 Ukrainians, and we usually shift every 8-7 hours. 7 hours a team flies, 7 hours a team rest, and we exchange here for this 28-30 hours. But usually, especially when something funny or something bad happens on the field, you can see us in a very small blindage, all watching the screen like it's a new movie. So even if the other 2 guys are resting main time, they try to keep helping us, like with equipment and all this stuff. I'm very lucky to be in this team now. I must say I felt in love with your country, especially with the city I've seen. I've seen Lviv, I've seen Odessa, I've seen Kiev, I've seen Mykolaiv and Kharkiv, and all these cities are beautiful. I believe that when we will win the war and Kharkiv will be rebuilt, it will be one of the most beautiful cities of Ukraine. So I'm happy that the government, Giorgia Meloni government, changed their ideas about supplying Ukraine with military equipment or maybe economic support, but I believe it was done too late and with not so much a decision. Even if the government of Giorgia Meloni is still trying to help Ukraine, they have a big problem inside the Senate, and the rest of the government really don't want to help us. And in my opinion, it's because there is some pro-Russian agents in the government. Because it's not normal. We didn't send you anything. We are trying to send you. We have in the north of Italy, we have fields full of tanks that no one is using. And we are planning not to use them near in any time soon. Why we are not shipping them to you? Or just giving munition? Like, Italian government has to understand only one thing. This war is real. Military is dying, but military dying is normal, but mainly civilian. Every time in Italy you wake up with the news, Putin launched missile strike to Odessa, Lviv, Kiev. How can you not do nothing to help this country? That's the question I ask myself every day. Okay, let's speak about this great Russian culture. What is this great Russian culture? Because if we analyze really what is what, this Russian culture is a little bit is Ukrainian, is from Kazakhstan, is from the part of Russia. A lot of people don't know that Russia is a federation, that is a lot of countries in one. So this great cultural they claim to have is not true because it's not from theirs, it's from other part of the federation. And the only stuff that I can see there is Italian culture in Russia is because we built St. Petersburg. If it wasn't for the Italians, St. Petersburg and Moscow were still some Salò or something like that. So yeah, Italy 1, Russia 0. The first thing we have to borrow from Ukrainian is your capacity to work under stress, under war, work every time, but not work for your personal gain, work for the community gain. And second stuff, you have to lend us Nova Posta services. Nova Posta is the best post service in the world. You can ship stuff from one part of Ukraine or even Poland, guys. You can ship from Poland to Italy or to the front lines in 24 hours, guys. You have to lend us Nova Posta. Please, I will make contract for this. I know we are opening in Milan, call me. I would like to tell Ukrainians, don't worry. The Legion and all the foreigners in this country are here to help you and here to repel the Russian aggression and to bring your borders back after 1991. To the Italians, I would like to say, please watch inside. Don't base your life on what you're reading on Facebook, Instagram, or this website. Try to understand the news. Try to take news from real sources. And to all the Italians who believe this war is not real, or that this war is just an American war against Russia, please remember, The deaths are Ukrainian, the civilians who are dying are Ukrainian, and we are here to defend this population who deserve love and attention from all the rest of the world. So please be careful and help Ukraine, guys.